go.
You're listening to Low Blow Sports on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy.
Hey, that's a low blow.
Get them right in the family jewels.
Where our sports takes hit you above and below the belt. Now here's the squad. Scotty Kiefer, Kobe Burke, and Nick Johnston. This is Low Blow Sports.
Look at that, boys. We're all here now. Look at, we got Nick's beautiful face back in here for Low Blow Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Scotty K, No Gimmick Nick Johnson to my left, and then Kobe Burke sitting over there behind the screens. How we feeling today, boys?
Ready to roll. I know Kobe can't hear a single thing we're going to say right now, so.
Yeah, I wish I could hear.
He can hear us, and he can hear us through there. He just
In spirit, I could hear it.
in
Yeah.
spirit.
In spirit.
Yeah, it's like he's not here. You know,
Yeah.
This is great.
That was fun. Well, it's fun.
Anyways,
Good to
we
be
got a
back.
lot to get into. NBA Finals Game 5, the Thunder take a commanding 3-2 lead. And did they maybe wrap it up after Halliburton's getting hurt? We'll talk about it in a little bit. Also, one of the craziest trades in the NBA for no reason, and then the craziest trade in baseball also being made. So we'll get over that. Devers going to the Giants. How does he help them in the NL West? And then does Desmond Bane actually make the Magic a contender? I don't know. But did they pay too much? Kobe's got something to say on that. And then I got a little story for you guys later on, so we'll get into that.
Brock, I needed 4 first-round picks for me. You never know. I am here with the Magic. Yes. Give me number 4 in the
Paulo
Magic
Banchero. Franz Wagner is my friend.
Don't send me to Oscola.
Hey, Mac McClung, though.
We'll get into all that and more, but first off, boys, let's get right into it. Thunder take game 3 after being up by, I think, as much as like 15. Then the Pacers came all the way back, got it to about a 3-point deficit, 2 points, something like that. And then Thunder just took care of business so much that in the final minute, the Pacers took out all of their starters, which did not leave a good impression on a lot of fans, especially for a team that's come back in the final minute multiple times this season and postseason. Did you feel like they kind of gave up in this one after coming back earlier in the game?
OKC or the
Pacers.
I mean, yeah, gave up is tough. A lot of people are trying to see the actual extremity of the severity. Excuse me, the severity of actually Tyrese Halliburton's calf. They're gonna, I guess, an MRI is coming up sometime soon. So that is coming to question. We're obviously never questioning anyone's like actual competition level. They're always trying, obviously, but it's I thought it was kind of wrapped up after Game 4, after OKC came back after that. That was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back type deal.
Really?
Yeah. I really actually felt that way. So kind of after that, it might have been the next 3 games are probably going to go OKC's way, and probably going to be wrapping it up after Game 6.
Okay, Kobe, how do you see it?
In terms of them not taking the starters out, I mean, it's a
Oh.
momentum thing.
Yeah.
You know, you go from down 3, and then the Thunder bring it back to 10, and then you got no momentum. It's not like a Game 1 where you're making shots. You're missing shots, got no momentum. You're down 10 in Oklahoma. It's not going to work out. Take the starters out, and now they're going to Game 6. I don't know what the situation is with Halliburton, but like if he did what he did last, I think we were talking about this last week, the inconsistencies of Halliburton and why he's not a star. This is why, because everybody's hurt right now. You can't say, "Oh, my calf's hurt." Everybody's hurt.
Yeah.
You can't go 0 points and a half and expect your team to win. Everybody's playing through something, and this inconsistency, the points, has always been an issue with him. And then I don't know how he's going to look Game 6.
That's
so
fair.
I'll take Thunder in 6.
The only one that's been consistent is Pascal Siakam.
Siakam's their best player.
I know, and it was so stupid in Game 4. They just never gave him the ball down the stretch when they needed to. And then they fixed it here. They started to come back, but then the difference is they didn't have Halliburton in this one. Now, how much... I mean, obviously, if they're talking about how severe his injury could be, maybe his injury played into it, and it probably did, but how much did it actually affect? Kobe makes a good point. Like, everyone is playing injured. You know, you got Caruso diving on the court for loose balls, and he's doing that in every single game. Like, you don't think he's a guy that's also battered up, and he's a big player for them.
Well, yeah, now playing almost 100 games in this year, yeah, you're gonna be banged up naturally. Like, it's just like just how fast like these motions are in basketball. Like, it's just naturally gonna take a toll on you. So yeah, it's kind of, again, it's tough to sit there and be like, my calf, like that's such a like injury, like it's here or there. Like, you kind of just got to man up and go for it. Like, I get it. It could be annoying. It could be a very nagging injury, but yeah, it's just one of those things you just kind of got to man up type deal. You know, now your back's completely against the wall. You have one more game left essentially. Otherwise, you got to tie it up, and then you're gonna go again into OKC. Yeah. So.
Yeah, although I will say they're bringing in Scott Foster for Game 6.
That's brutal. Yeah, that's absolutely the extender. Yeah,
the extender.
Absolutely brutal.
And that's why I'm saying this will go to 7.
Yeah, I mean, the people that don't remember, again, it was just a post. I didn't look into the actual like legitimacy of it, but that Donahue, that referee that went to jail for betting on games, apparently there's call logs between 2006 and 2007. Over like well over 100 different calls that ranged like an average of about 2 minutes, when other referee calls were about 13. There's only 13 different referee calls, averaging about 30 seconds.
Yep.
So it's again, it's just one of those things like, whoa, why? That's weird. That's really weird. Why is no one else talking about that type deal?
Okay, I'm hammering Pacers money line for Game 6.
And honestly, Rick Carlisle, for what it's worth, he called him out by name the other day. He called him out by name last night.
He did.
So he's been very. I don't want to completely be on his side of like, okay, yes, the refereeing, the officiating has been solely been on the Thunder side of things. Of course, you know, yeah, obviously SGA does get a thankful whistle every now and again, but.
That's a play style thing. That's no matter.
Every once in a while, he gets a lucky call.
Yeah, exactly. But exactly right. It's just Scott Foster. Like it's glaring that he has been kind of had a little bit of a thumbprint on this, a little bit of a fingerprint on the series. It's kind of weird.
I don't think it's going to be as blatant. Like David Stern, it was like blatant. Now, the whole thing with the extender, if they were going to extend it, it wouldn't be these two teams. That's like the whole thing with a small market.
It would be any team though.
No, but the whole thing with like the extenders.
That's a whole nother game of revenue for the NBA.
It's a small market. I don't know if like it really.
But you say small market, but for what it's worth, the Pacers fans did show out. Like there was like again, we had people that were boots on the ground there. Like they,
I'm looking at like what year 2006, like the Heat over Dallas, like that kind of those kind of calls. Like it's not gonna be. You know,
funny enough, that 2011 series of the same team got me into the whole, like NBA realm when I was a kid. So,
I don't know. If we're gonna talk rigged, we could talk about the draft lottery.
Are they doing that thing at the Pacers Arena? Is that free, or do you have to pay to get in there?
When you have to like the actual like picnic
when they
area,
just show it when they show it on TV.
I'm pretty sure you need some sort of like ticket to get in there.
So that's my thing. Is it's more revenue for another Game 7, and that's all the NBA has shown you they care about. Is the
and not only that, like when they're on the road, they sell tickets to get in the arena and have a watch party.
That's what I'm.
So it's just constant.
They have to sell tickets for that.
To sit there and say they wouldn't want to extend it to 7 no matter what, like it doesn't matter. Like they see dollar signs, they're gonna chase after it no matter what.
I mean, you could see why forcing 7 makes a lot more sense, because not only does that help the Thunder and their ticket sales, it helps publicity of the NBA. Oh my God, a Game 7 that's gonna blow up everywhere
with these young stars known as Tyrese Halliburton and SGA and Chet Holmgren, and I mean, for what it's worth,
J-Dub putting up 40.
TJ McConnell, getting to know him a little bit.
That is not a young star, TJ McConnell.
He plays the game right, damn it.
God, it's like Hunter's here.
15 points in 15 minutes.
So does Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner.
And that's his top 10, not mine.
Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy.
TJ and Chet, they just play the game the right way. Just all hustle. Alex Caruso.
Hartenstein, bro, plays the game.
Alex Caruso is my favorite player. Not Hartenstein. Hartenstein doesn't fit.
Larry Bird is my goat.
Good player. He never took that warm up off. They have to take that warm up off.
He hit it off the scoreboard, off the floor, off the top of the arena, off the top of the backboard.
We're
and
going
in.
off the rails here. That'll be a later segment here. Stick around for a little bit after.
I don't know. I think Game 6. It honestly, it depends on Halliburton. I think just because of the injury wise, they need him in that game. Even if he just goes out there and it's probably still a decoy, I feel like that would help them a little bit.
He can't be a decoy. He's their
But
main
that's
ball
the-
handler.
yeah.
How do you put Tyrese Halliburton? You can't just Steph Curry put him in the corner. He's primary ball handler.
You can't do that with him.
You can't do that.
It's like he needs to be ready to go because he's got to go up against Shea, who quietly put up a 31-point game yesterday. And, like, literally no one cared because J-Dub put up 40.
That's true.
I mean, that's just... The good thing is he's got, 2 days of rest now? Because they're going to play Thursday, so today and Wednesday he'll be off, so...
I mean,
maybe he's good there.
At the end of the day, like if the Thunder does put this away, 68 wins during the regular season, this pretty dominant playoff run, they could go down as one of the best teams just of all time. I've seen that, and I think it's. I'm not gonna want to sit here and argue balls and strikes, on 1, 2, 3, 4, but it could probably be up there. I mean, again, I'm very much convinced at that point. I've seen that argument, and I'm kind of convinced at that point that this is.
Like we talked about that last week. Like, is this the
very
best
dominant
Thunder team of all
Yes,
time?
this is what we talked... No, we talked about is SGA, if he wins a title, MVP, wins the title, probably going to end up winning MVP of the NBA Finals. Is
Most
he the
likely.
best Thunder player of all time?
I mean, during his Thunder tenure so far, probably. I mean, yeah, I think obviously Kevin Durant brought the most excitement, and it was a very young franchise at that point. So a lot of eyeballs on him, but
MVP.
he bounced around a little bit now. Same with Westbrook and Harden at this point.
It doesn't matter. It's like tenure as a player on the Thunder. Then once he leaves the Thunder, then it's closed. Like because he played for the Nets, doesn't really matter that he was on the Thunder.
Yeah,
We're saying strictly on the Thunder all the time. I would take KD over Shea.
I think I would have to look at
Because-
definitely KD holds probably like all the all-time records so far for the Thunder.
Obviously, Shea.
He also played a long time.
Yeah,
he
exactly,
Played a
that's what I'm
decently
saying.
long time there. He played almost. I think he played like 9 seasons there.
Like no shade to
So,
Shea
and a young
because
franchise, like you said, obviously he's going to hold those records. But
He's on pace to probably be the
Yes.
best Thunder player in his franchise history. It's just it's going to be inconclusive until his tenure in the Thunder is
on
over with.
pace to yes. As of right now, no.
That's
And
fair.
also, I look at
now let me ask you.
I
this.
look at the conferences of back then. When KD was making the playoffs, every single Western Conference team was a 50-win team. And now you look at the West now, it's not as competitive.
As of next
So it's-
Sunday, if they win the title, wins MVP, wins Finals MVP, what are you going to say then?
In terms of
Because that's something
in
that
terms
KD
of
never
team,
did.
in terms of team accomplishment, I'll give single player accomplishment. We're talking about a top 10 player of all time. Debatable.
Yeah, and a lot of that has
And
to do with
that's-
him not being on the Thunder, though.
His first
Never-
9 years in the league.
And then the point he was trying to make, he was making the point about Russ is you dominating with and bringing that team that was literally nothing without him, and
'Cause
somehow getting him to the
if
to
you
the
switch
playoffs.
out KD with Shea, the series is already over. I don't think that's arguable.
Now,
I think not KD right now, but
Okay.
like 20. How old is Shea? Like 26, 27?
yeah,
You
somewhere
put
around
26, 27-year-old KD. This series is already over. That's over in five
guess
games
so.
probably.
that's a
Yeah.
hard one, just because then you're taking out J-Dub, and then who's
there. I mean,
holding
the
up the ball?
Durantula
Like,
was
that's
just
a-
something.
Why are you taking
Yeah.
on J-Dub?
Well, you gotta put KD in somewhere.
No, you just
I'll
move,
go with
move J-Dub
on
to the
pace.
2, put KD at the 3.
I'll go with on pace. I'll go with the boring, inconclusive until Shea's tenure is done. But I'll always say if there was ever that argument of like, hey, aliens come to Earth for whatever reason, they're gonna say, hey, if you make this shot in basketball, we're not gonna blow up the Earth. I would give the ball to Kevin Durant to make that shot.
I'll say
And
right
that's-
now, KD.
Yeah.
5 years from now, it could be Shea.
I think it could be as early as Sunday. Might think about SGA being
You
the
got
best
it.
Thunder's player. because he's the one that brought if he brings them the title. That's something that the other two never
I mean,
did.
Steven Adams was also pretty solid.
Okay, wow. Again, still never brought him a title.
I don't look at rings
You know
as
who
like
was
a
also
single.
really solid? Nick Collison, baby.
Because I don't like rings as like a single player accomplishment. That's a full team.
Yeah.
Because there's so many elite players that never got rings. Yeah. You know, like the Charles Barkley, the Malone and Stockton. Like there's so many players that you can't just he has a ring, he's better. Because if Halliburton gets a ring, are you placing him above Chris Paul?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying on a team wise, if you want to just look at team wise.
If you're looking at Thunder, like
Did KD only win one league MVP while he was on the Thunder?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then they're going to end up being tied
And
if we're
then
looking at just-
Shea would have the NBA title over him.
already. Yeah.
That's what I'm like. Yeah.
After like two or three seasons. Yeah. Right.
I give him like 3-4 more. If he gets to 30, he's still doing what he's doing, then I'll give it a shot.
And then I'll give Kate. I mean, again, scoring titles. It's still going to be KD's way, even still on the Thunder. He had like 2 or 3 of them, I think. Right.
Yes.
Well, we can fact check this all.
Yeah, but he
maybe
averaged
2,
30
maybe.
a couple of times. 2 or
Exactly,
3,
yeah. And then right now, SGA is averaging like 33, 34 points a game, like something bonkers. It's
a tough conversation. It's a tough, inconclusive conversation.
Yeah.
But speaking of KD, we're gonna come back because where's he gonna land? He kind of picked his teams where he wants to go. And then also, the Magic aren't going to be one of them because they decided to trade all their future for Desmond Bane.
Welcome to the darkness, Orlando.
We'll see you back here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just a small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
That was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range 3, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Welcome back to Low Blow Sports. We are here at the O'Hara campus to talk about Desmond Bane.
All right, Apu. What was
We're here
that?
to talk about Desmond Bane.
I'll do it more like this.
Desmond Bane gets traded for way too much.
Yeah, dude.
To the Magic, I mean, it kind of fits what they want to do, but
Blow up their franchise?
no, like team-wise.
Yeah.
But
Make them a 5 seed for the next 5 years. Like that's
the trade is literally just Desmond Bane just going to the Magic. They didn't
We
get
about to call him
anything
Desmond
else.
Bricks.
that's three
very
reps.
mean.
That's what they're
For
calling them.
KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 first-round pick swap. What were the Magic thinking? Kobe said something earlier, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. What did you say about the Bridges trade, Kobe?
So the Knicks traded 5 firsts and like 2 players for Mikal Bridges, which was like the final piece to their team. And now the Grizzlies 5 picks, 2 players for Desmond Bane.
Oh my god.
Which is like Mikal was an overpay, but now this is just like, is he even gonna be like a starter?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Like
He will, because he
it's-
goes in and he's
like-
going to be with Paulo, Franz, and
Like that's-
Suggs. So it's probably going to be Suggs, Bane, Wagner, Paulo, and
Like,
then
this
whoever
this
they
is
want
the
to
guy
run
who's never been an All-Star. He's got
Vucevic, probably.
he's got no accolades, and you're trading 5 picks and 2 role players. It's just a dumb trade.
It's a very dumb trade, and it came out of nowhere, too.
Like if you're gonna trade 5, KD's right there, Giannis. They're talking about another Grizzlies player, Jaren Jackson Jr. being traded, but you trade for Desmond Bane.
Yeah, and I even saw some people on the other side were like, why did the Orlando give up Cole Anthony, who they thought was a pretty solid piece to their core?
He's kind of like plateaued there, though.
Yeah.
Especially with Suggs proving that he's probably better. He's definitely plateaued there. So to move him and upgrade and get a Desmond Bane, that makes sense.
Yeah, again,
But
it's
then
just
they traded so much else to
it's
get
just
him.
the insurance, the extra 4 first-round picks, and then the first-round pick swap.
Unprotected too,
Yeah.
like not even like lottery protected or anything. Just
Oh my God.
straight
Including
unprotected.
including a pick swap with the Suns or the Wizards,
Who are gonna be awful.
who are both going to be awful. Like those are guaranteed lottery picks there.
yeah.
Maybe not the Suns. Maybe D-Book can do something. But, like, the Wizard pick, definitely
Yeah.
that you're looking at a top 10 pick there.
And I don't know what direction you planned on going with, because we can also talk about Kevin Durant's potential landing spots too. But the way I kind of read this was like, could not the Bulls have made a move, but could they not have maybe called Orlando? Maybe the Orlando Heat got to them, and that's why they threw in so many first round picks for this whole thing. But it's just like, is not Kobe White worth something like this now? They were like, he's very similar. I think he's only a year older in the league than Desmond Bane, but one more year on his contract, something similar like that. It's just, could the Bulls not have snuck in and done something like this too?
It puts a lot of people in the world in the NBA like that around the situation. I mean, I'll name you 3 players. You already named Kobe White.
Yeah.
What's his value now? Is it a little bit more than that? Is it less than that? Because if it's less than that and it's just a little bit less, like, I'll take it.
And it also
what are you
comes-
going to get for Derek White?
Yeah.
Derek White might be on his way out of the Celtics. And what's your value now for him?
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen, but Austin Reeves rumors are thrown out every single year because the Lakers always need to improve.
Yeah.
So what's your valuation for Reeves now that Bane goes for this?
Yeah, it's kind of thrown in a big, like, what to do. What is everyone's value now worth because of the 4th round picks for Desmond Bane?
Yes.
it's a tough
I kind of
sell
see
now.
like why the Magic did it, because if you look at like the East next year, it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. The Celtics don't have Tatum. Knicks don't have a head coach. You get the Pacers. The Bucks is the Giannis situation. They could realistically be a 3 seed. And now they're going all in on that. Oh, the East is wide open. Let's take our chance. I think they definitely gave up way too much, but like I could see like kind of like the reasoning behind it. They just put it all in on a player they shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely a trade that makes them better, but like you said, they just gave up way too much because you add in Desmond Bane. That's so much better defense for your team. That's why I'm saying the Cole Anthony upgrade from him, you're getting so much more defensive guard play from that. When Suggs doesn't really play that much, you're going to be able to put a little bit of the better guards you go up against on Desmond Bane, because he's not a lockdown defender, but he's not a liability there.
So look at the Grizzlies. Like, are they going into like a rebuild now?
Yeah,
Because
what
they
do you
just
do
got
with,
the- they just got the
what do
new
you
head
do with
coach.
Morant? And if he's traded, what's your value for him? Because
Exactly.
look at what you got for Desmond Bane.
Triple J's been in trade
Ammunition?
talks
I don't-
the entire time. I don't think Ja is like a 1A player. So, I mean, you either got to move on, and he'll get 7 first if this is what Desmond Bane is going for.
Yeah.
It's just
If we're on that pace, then
It's
we're on
just-
that track. Yeah, exactly
it's
right.
ridiculous.
It throws a lot of value around for a lot of different players, and
Be trading 20, 35 first-round picks probably. Like,
Thunder are going to need to trade every single pick they have to just
Oh, yeah.
get like a Derek White.
so then that also begs the question, what's your value for Kevin Durant? Because Unk's still putting it up. He's still putting up a solid
Well, that's
22.
more limited because he said who he wants to go to. Who he wants to go to. I think
And then
he
he's
said,
also said
what?
who he wants to go to. So what are those teams going to
What
want to
is it?
give up?
down to
Spurs,
Miami?
Rockets, Heat.
Spurs, Rockets, and
Spurs,
Heat.
Rockets, Heat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe
my
one more,
T-Wolves are
I
out.
think. I think
I'm
it
not
came out. The
watching
report came
basketball.
out and said he wanted to go to the Knicks, but the Knicks said no.
Yeah, bold
Apparently
move.
a lot of
Just-
teams said no.
Bold move
That's
by
why
New
I've
York.
heard.
Well, I feel like at this point in his career, like it's not really like he's like what 37 now. Like he's not as great as he's on defense.
What? I'm on,
What?
I'm
Wait,
on
what?
ESPN and it says, I'm looking at the Grizzlies trade of Desmond Bane. The video they're showing underneath is Knicks.
Of course. I mean,
Of
it's, and
course.
it's Stephen A.
Yeah.
talking about something completely unrelated
Yeah.
to what you
How does this
needed.
affect LeBron's legacy?
How does,
Exactly.
how does this affect LeBron?
No, again,
That's a
to
major
kind of
question.
sidebar with the Knicks, very bold move to just fire Tom Thibodeau and then just to think, hey, every other team is just going to let us talk to their head coach.
True.
I
And
think
now
it's-
that's backfiring.
they're interviewing Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown. But, like
Okay.
I get the whole, because like what if a team says yes? Like you shoot your shot. Like why not?
Yeah,
Like,
sure,
Like
but-
what
Try,
if
bro. It's not going to work.
it's not gonna work? But like if someone says yes, you're like, oh,
I like when
the
they,
Pacers are letting us interview Rick Carlisle. Let's go for it.
when I read that the Bulls wouldn't let them talk to Billy Donovan. I was
Yeah, I
like,
don't
yes. I was like, yes, let's go.
Okay, so here's what it says. The Knicks have no interest in bringing Kevin Durant in. The 3 choices are the Heat, the Spurs, and the Rockets.
Boo.
He definitely doesn't want Minnesota, but I think there is some fear from him.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to play with the best player in the league and have Anthony Edwards show him up every single day.
True.
What a wow, what a
So
dog.
let me ask you this: based off what they
Soft.
could trade and based on their current roster, where is his best landing spot
In terms of like right now,
right now?
of those 3 teams,
Of
I
those
think,
3 teams, what
I
do you
think
think?
if he
should
goes
be
to the Rockets, they'll be the best.
okay.
In terms of like in the future, if he goes to the Spurs and he gets to teach Wemby, that's not fair for the league.
No,
I mean,
I
that's
was
like
just about to
that's like
say.
what I'm most scared for. And then the Heat are just trying to stay relevant. I think.
That's where I'm at with it. I think the number 1 team to go to is the Spurs, and I mean, based off what Shams did on ESPN last night, I would probably assume that's might be where he's going.
I mean, again, pairings. The only thing that would be vouching for the Heat would be like Eric Spoelstra being able to coach Kevin Durant. That'd be pretty good, but obviously,
no
you
state
know,
income tax, but it's
I
not
know.
really a thing when a team's bad. So,
but again, I think the scariest, obviously, is what Kobe just said. KD and Victor Wembanyama linking up together, and not only that, De'Aaron Fox when he gets healthy again too.
True.
With a little bit of CP3 mixed in there, I suppose.
Houston would be fun because you
Houston
can already,
would be fun too.
You can kind of see what they trade. They
There's
trade
So much young
they
talent on the
trade
Houston
Fred
Rockets.
VanVleet for him for contract reasons, and then they have a plethora of first round picks. They have a lot of young talent that's kind of stagnated there that they could trade off and maybe be in a good place in Phoenix.
And if it's a copy paste of the Rockets or the 2 seed now with veteran presence in the playoffs,
that's a lot different team.
probably not going to get run out of the first round in 7 to the Warriors, something like that. So I like that option too.
My thing with the Spurs is what are they going to give up?
Well, because they gave up everything for De'Aaron Fox.
They gave
so
up
now
everything
it's-
for Fox.
Greg Popovich's will or something.
Okay, wow.
He's still there, I know.
He's
but
hanging on barely.
Yeah, he just needs.
I'm
I don't know.
trying
Okay,
to,
I only say
like,
that.
I can see a Rockets trade. The Rockets trade is like a Fred VanVleet contract reason not Jalen Green, but there's like three guys they can pick, one or two of them that are young prospects that have kind of just been linear there that they can trade away.
You could kind of
and
like
then they have
look
so many
at-
first-round picks. You could see the Rockets trade. I can't see what the Spurs would give up to get Kevin
You could look at
Durant.
this like an Aaron Rodgers situation where he says, "I want to go here, get it done." Whereas like he's not going to go anywhere else. You might as well get something back for him. Where it's not as good of a deal as you could get, but you still get like solid value. I don't know the Spurs depth chart like off the top of my head.
That's what I'm looking that up now.
Like
I don't even know what they're.
Like they really only have 2 or 3 players, 4, 5 players off limits. It's the starting 5 because they said no to Castle and Sojan. You're not going to trade Wemby. You're not trading De'Aaron Fox, and at this point, you don't really want Chris Paul. So it's just who on their bench.
Probably Vassell. Probably
Bismack Biyombo.
One for one. Just
is it
Biyombo
Champagne?
Kitty. It's a one for one swap.
Is it Champagne? Is that how you say it?
Champagne.
Champagne. It's probably looking like Champagne and Vassell. And then maybe like for contract wise, maybe like a Harrison Barnes. If you want to match contract wise,
he's always in every big trade.
and then how many first round picks? They wasted a lot of them to get De'Aaron Fox.
Dude, that's like a player in his prime. Now you're kind of, I'll say like 1 or 2, maybe a pick swap.
Could be
like 1 first and then a pick swap.
That's fair. I think but like I said, I think the Rockets trade makes more sense value wise. What they're gonna want to look for. There's a lot more guys.
In terms of win now, it's better for the Rockets, but in terms of like win in a year or 2, it's better for the Spurs. It's really just KD wants to win now, so I think it'll be the Rockets.
Like it could be like a Fred VanVleet. Nah, maybe. I mean, I don't think Amen would be out of the conversation.
No, he's out of the conversation for sure.
Oh yeah.
Jabari Smith would probably.
I would
be
say
in that
Jalen Green might be in the
conversation.
conversation because he's kind of like
Jalen Green might be.
He's kind of showed who he is. He's not gonna.
Who knows?
elevate.
Maybe even Dylan Brooks is the player that's money matchup.
Maybe.
Because I think Fred VanVleet's on a option this year. I think.
I wouldn't know.
So I think he's on an opt-in, opt-out right now. So maybe he's not in that move. But could be one of those. But flipping from one trade in basketball, another trade in baseball, just in the middle of the year, the Red Sox decided to trade their best hitter and send him to the Giants, who actually might help them in the NL West. We'll talk about it when we come back here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports.
Red left.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
through the season as Michigan's head coach.
God, I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Low Blow Sports. We move on to baseball to talk about the most random trade in the middle of the day, right before first pitch of their game on Sunday Night Baseball. The Giants just say, "Hey, you know what we want? We want Rafael Devers. We're gonna trade for him." Giant blockbuster move, and honestly, they didn't even give up that much. It looks pretty good on their end.
Yeah, dude.
It looks really good, especially when they send down the main starting pitcher to AAA the day the trade goes through. So, I don't know. I'll say this because I follow the Red Sox. Over the course of the past, this season so far, he's been a little bit of a diva in that locker room. Ever since signing Bregman, he's complained about not moving anywhere, doesn't want to switch positions, third base is his. I also heard a report that a rookie was called up and said, "I'll play first, I don't care."
Christian Campbell.
And he took offense to that because he thought he was showing him up.
Oh my God.
So, obviously a little bit of a bad vibe in the locker room there. And yes, he's doing fantastic, but it kind of is the right move to make. They just didn't get that much out for him.
Yeah, it's a good move, but look who the Giants have at third base right now.
And that's another
They
point.
have Platinum Glove winner Matt Chapman. It's not like third base is just open. Here, come take it. You have the second best fielding third baseman in baseball.
Yeah. It's a weird... It's like, hey, you don't want to play third base because of Alex Bregman. We totally get that. If you want to get... He didn't request a trade, but it's like, yeah, we're going to trade you. That's fine. We're sending you to San Francisco, where guess what? Matt Chapman's sitting right there.
I mean, I think this was... I was looking at the multiple views, multiple lenses of... This could have been, Buster Posey really trying to puff out his chest and show you, all right, I'm the new kid in town. I know what a World Series winning team looks like from top to bottom. I've done it 3 different times. I've been there, done that type deal. So I think it was maybe could have been on that side of things. It could have also, like you mentioned, the trade-off for Boston of, do we want to get rid of this guy? Do we want to hold on to this guy because he's doing so well? Or do we want the, again, I don't want to, some people have labeled him the cancer in the locker room type deal. Do we want to get rid of that and actually have a healthy locker room? They're going to go that route. They're going to see if they can maybe contend probably at this point for a wild card. I don't have to look at the standings to kind of see where they're at.
They're a couple of games back. They're
right in the middle,
like 500
They're a couple games
right now.
back. They're in the middle of a win streak, and yes, Devers helped them get a lot of it, but yesterday...
They bring up Ramon Anthony,
yeah,
who just hit his first home run of his career.
I mean, this opens up a lot for the Red Sox because now if they start doing bad, do they trade Bregman? Jaron Duran's been in trade talks.
It opens up a lot.
They could go full rebuild right now and just load up on prospects if they really want to.
And to be honest, what they got from the Giants isn't bad, but it's not like
a 1-6
game changer.
1-6 Jordan Hicks with a 5
Jordan Hicks
ERA.
is moved to the reliever.
Okay.
I mean, so fine, whatever. Kyle Harrison has pitching potential, but then you just send him right to triple.
Right now, Red Sox are third wildcard spot, half a game up.
Okay.
They get Jose Bello, minor league pitcher, and then James Tibbs was the number 3 prospect in the Giants system, but he's not even top 10 in the Red Sox system.
Yeah, that's some people were.
I think when he was drafted, he was number 3, but he's been performing bad. So now he's moved down in the Giants rankings.
Yeah,
I forgot the name, but some people were like, "Oh, seriously, they couldn't even get this guy." Like their number.
They really
3.
wanted that pitcher.
Yeah, I think so.
And it just wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, so some people were again on the Red Sox side. They were just mad of the return and mad again at just the fact that another young guy that was still owed $250 million on his contract still or whatever, but in basically the prime of his career traded away again like Mookie Betts or Xander Bogaerts.
2018 is done, man. And I know it's so far removed from there, but man, I remember that team. The team was so fun with everyone there, and just now everyone's gone. It's
I still felt sad. That team was stacked, and then just Steven Pierce wins World Series MVP. That's just my favorite thing about that. Just you have 5 Hall of Famers and Steven Pierce.
Love
has
it.
one good week. And
Yeah, that's baseball.
No, he literally
That is
only,
literally-
had, he
no.
only had like
That's
three
the
good
definition
games.
of baseball.
They played
right there.
6. He had like 3 good.
I know, but he had like 3 homers in those games, and it was incredible.
He had a good clinching game. That's what won it for him.
It's baseball, baby.
That's baseball. But Devers to the Giants. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it on the Red Sox side of things. Like, why would they do this? I actually don't hear a lot of people saying how good this could be for the Giants bringing him in. Obviously, we talked about the situation with Matt Chapman at third base, but hitting wise, they broke it down on Sunday Night Baseball. A lot of the doubles he has like this season, just playing at Oracle, they'd be in McCovey Cove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he is probably going to step it up a lot playing at Oracle and playing for the Giants. He fits really nice into that lineup at either 3 or 4. He fits almost perfectly there. Could this propel the Giants to be a team in the NL West and maybe put some heat on the Dodgers?
I mean, they're right there. They're 2.5 back of the Giants. Like this is like their all-in move. Put the chips in, see how far this team could go, and then I think they're going to be a wild card spot. I think the way they're playing, I think he could get there because the Braves have just completely fallen off.
Yeah,
I think the roster.
Getting Chris Sale, so
I think the roster they have right now could be a wild card spot. This is their push to the Dodgers to say like, hey, like we're here, we're right there. I think they could get it, honestly.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, their entire pitching staff is going on IL, just player by player.
Ohtani's back.
He pitched 1 inning. I don't want to like.
Did he really only pitch
1 inning?
pitched
1 inning.
Yeah.
I didn't even see
Gave up 2 hits and
three
a run.
hits.
Okay.
3 hits. 3 hits. A sack fly, and then they brought in a couple other guys. I think Kasparius went like 4 innings, but like.
That's hilarious.
I mean, the Giants are right there.
I'm not on the side of the Dodgers are still going to win the NL West comfortably. I think it'll still be loud. Like they're gonna make some noise. It'll probably still be close down the line. They could probably still get this is probably the hump that gets them over the Padres type deal. I think that's probably the next move to like almost guarantee a wild card spot at the very least. Like okay, guarantee yourself a wild card spot with this move. Still can make some noise and probably win this NL West. And my last little thing, and maybe I'll shout back to you guys again. Similar to what I said with what the Bulls could have done in his Orlando trade. Again, why not the Cubs trying to make a move right here, trying to make some deal? Like you could have even put Matt Shaw in this deal if you're trying to trade off your third baseman, and he could have played third.
I think it was like the same thing with Luka. Like it just kind of happened.
Okay,
like, there's no like reaching out
This
across
did
the
get
league.
that more vibes off with it.
It's not like hey, Devers on the trade block. It's just you kind of just happened.
You just immediately like basically the first person you called.
He didn't
you
even
make a
request
good
a trade.
deal.
He didn't even request a trade.
Craig Breslow, that's his name. Breslow.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck he's doing.
Okay.
I think that's just like the main thing.
Devers didn't even request a trade. The Red Sox were quietly shipping him around and got the deal they wanted.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, my thing with you saying about the Cubs is they're not even trying to pay Kyle Tucker. You really think they're going to trade for Rafael Devers, who's owed $250 million?
Again, and that was the other side where
that's the thing with why the Cubs.
That was the
wouldn't
other
go
thing
do it.
too, where I've seen just like, yeah, again, where they're already kind of questioning, are they even going to pay Kyle Tucker, or is Rafael Devers even a good fit for the Cubs type deal? So again, on paper, it's just like they have the capital. They maybe could have even made a similar move, if not better, for them. I could also just see. Somewhat. Well, again, we're always surrounded by Cub fans when we do the games, or just being in this building in general. So I can see, maybe I can justify a little bit as to why maybe even Cub fans could be upset. They could have stepped in and maybe had something to do.
And then
with
to
this.
wrap this up, another thing that this does for the Red Sox is, like you said, come July, the end of July, they could be trading all of these guys on this team. But also, what they could be doing is in this offseason, opening it up for a guy like Kyle Tucker, who's probably going to be hitting the market. There's a lot of guys that are going to be hitting the market, and opening up a contract of Rafael Devers opens that up for this offseason if they decide to keep everyone around for this year.
Because the Red Sox, their young core is based around their outfield. They got Rafaela, they got Duran, and they got Willie Abreu. I don't think they're going to trade their $250 million third baseman to go pay $250 for an outfielder. They already have the outfield set up for the future.
I don't know. I mean, Trevor Story's not playing the best out there.
That's not an outfielder. That's a shortstop.
That's true.
That's the thing.
It's been like 3 years been playing trash. I think we all know that. They just don't got anyone to replace him.
I think that it does open that up for the end of the year. come off season, if they decide to keep everyone around, it opens things up for next year.
I think
That's
trade
a lot of
deadline
money
they're gonna
opening
get
it
a ton of calls on Bregman.
And this is going to be a very important month for the Red Sox.
It could be that they get an offer. They're like, oh, we got like a Juan Soto type offer where they're getting the 4 players. Where like you have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, I think they'd rather just pay Bregman because he was with the Fenway, the short fence 310. He was going ridiculous before he got hurt. I think if he comes back, does the same thing. I think you have to keep him.
Wow, funny enough, the Red Sox do play the Giants in an upcoming series after this.
And then that's the other thing. They play them on Friday, and I think it's in Oracle, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're gonna make a West Coast trip. They're gonna be
that's good for
in
the Red
San
Sox,
Fran, then LA Angel, the Angels. They'll be back home for a series against the Blue Jays, and then they'll have the Reds. So
and this is Boston.
That's
too.
kind of a 50-50. I mean, even the Angels are kind of playing some pretty good ball right now. So that'll be interesting to see.
Like he might get Nico Harrison treatment. Because Boston,
it's not that bad.
No, but Boston people are not nice.
No,
they are not.
But it's
Boston.
It's not even close to as bad as that.
This is Boston. Boston people are horrible.
That's been
that's just like a known fact.
I don't know. To me, the writing was on the wall that this could have happened. It was kind of just a shock that we didn't get a. Rafael Devers has requested a trade and then got this. It was kind of just like, by the way, they traded Rafael Devers.
I think they put that out there. Then they lose value. They lose what's the word?
I guess.
I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. I get what you're saying.
'Cause that happens with everyone. When someone requests a trade, the value goes down just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like with bigger name players, a little bit different.
Did you guys see there were some Bostonians that were recording their fathers? This happened on Father's Day, of course.
Oh, I did see that.
I saw that.
And of course, they got the reaction like, you silly little kids. This is just like that one little thing whenever like, whatever, name a celebrity, all dead, and they're like, oh no, they were just trying to get over the reaction. Nope, they were all checking. They were just immediately Father's Day's ruined. So, yeah, brutal.
Yeah, that's tough. All right, when we come back, I got a little quick story for you guys.
Oh, fun.
So we'll talk about it when we come back here on Low Blow Sports.
This is your home for sports. Longtime fan, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I gonna be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive.
Someone that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
We're for Low Blow Sports. And we even got
A little crosstalk.
Andrew and we got Frankie over here.
From
for
what?
for Blow the Whistle.
Yeah!
Because they'll be going after us. And then this guy, he's leaving here to go do that too. But I'm actually glad Andrew's here because for this Scotty story time, I gotta tell you guys something here. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we don't really talk about that much. We don't talk about hockey that much. We definitely don't talk about soccer that much. But right now, something
good because we want
happening in
listeners.
soccer. But listen to this. So first off, there's a tournament happening in the U.S. right now called the Club World Cup. Literally, no one cares. Their attendance is awful. They haven't hit 90% of attendance in any of the games yet. Then again, they are playing the games at 2 o'clock in the afternoon during the middle of the week. So fair.
To be fair.
But there's one story coming
You
out.
get some White Sox attendance in that one.
Yeah. There's a story coming out right now that literally everyone is loving. Now, in this tournament, it's all of the best teams in each region of the world. You know, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and then Oceania.
Okay.
Now, the thing with Oceania, it's New Zealand, you'd think Australia. Australia actually play in the Asian Confederation. In the Oceania, there is no professional soccer team. 0. It's all semi-pro and amateur teams. So there's a team from New Zealand who's in this tournament called Auckland FC. And none of the players, on average, each player makes $50 a week playing for this team. Now, in their first game, they went up against Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in the world. Multiple Champions League winner, just won their own league this year. They lost 10-0. Literally no one cares because this team is hilarious to talk about. Their goalie is a actual forklift driver.
Yes.
He had to call off all of his vacation on 2025 and take unpaid days off to play in this tournament. And then he gets 7 saves and lose 10-0.
Oh my god.
But that's every single player on this team. This is the average Joes coming out here and playing this.
That's absolutely insane. That's fun.
Think about like the grandpa story. He's like, I remember when I went and played the high and mighty Bayern Munich. It's like, all right, grandpa, take your pills, dude. Like that did not happen.
It's good lore though, so like it works out. Yeah.
But like it's very funny because like I said, average players they make like $50 a week playing for this team. They barely make any money. The thing is though, they're getting like over $2 million just from playing in this tournament, and they're not even a professional team.
But you ask any other player in that tournament, are they forklift certified? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And that's what matters.
Yeah. They have something to fall back on.
So like it's because like you're
warehouse. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Scott, it's because you're gambling on it. Is that why? Like you're bringing this up?
No, I literally couldn't care less about this tournament. This tournament is awful.
Yeah.
But there's like honestly. No one even thinks they're gonna score a goal. So if they score a goal, like that's like the best they can do. It's like it's kind of fun when you just get your average guys. This is a Sunday league team that just goes out there and they're like, yeah, we're gonna play up against. Oh my gosh, the best team in the world.
Yeah, this would be like your beer league softball team coming in and playing the world classic or something like that. Yeah.
Playing the Dodgers probably.
Yeah.
No, it's just and then one of the guys he traded jerseys with one of the other players, and the other player sought him out to go do it just because he was like, yeah, I don't even know who you are, but let's just trade jerseys.
I gotta have this so I can tell him, honey, did you see this? Look,
yeah,
this is from New Zealand.
And then it's funny because like every single player is like, oh, like we have to call in vacations. Like a lot of people are like gardeners and like trades people, and they're like, oh yeah, we gotta call off. We gotta go play in this massive soccer tournament.
That I mean, again, it does kind of. He has to call of his own personal days. It's kind of funny. That's pretty brutal.
That just sucks. Like that's just one of those things. It's like, I mean, yeah, you get to go play a soccer game, but like I had to use my time to go play this game. Like boss can't be like, all right, you're representing the country.
Yeah.
Kind of, we'll give you the days off.
Work is work.
Yeah, right. No, you got to be in by Thursday. Sorry, otherwise you're losing money. Sorry.
Yeah, the goalie was saying that he's got all of his vacation days and then he has to take unpaid days to call off because it's just such a long term. What is cool is they're getting like basically the same treatment as everyone else. They get a facility. I think they're based in Kentucky or something like that. Based somewhere there. They get like rooms for them, like paid for them, and they're like, they don't have to pay anything for this. And I think the one guy was like, yeah, I might be struggling with rent when I go home, but I will never be able to do this again. So I'm doing it.
Again, that's the solid trade-off right there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to struggle with bills and rent, but hey, I played up against the best team in the world.
No NIL opportunities for these guys?
No.
Okay. Just wondering. Just wondering.
They might get on an episode
Book
with
is,
Louis.
the book is still out on that one.
It's like classic like Ellen material, except she retired. No, she can't even do that. Can't even do that anymore.
There you go.
No, it's just fun. And then literally no one cares about any of the other games except for their game.
Fair enough.
And then they just get blown out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
just like Little League World Series, like when you think you're good and you play that one travel team, and then you just get destroyed.
I mean Chinese Taipei or something like that.
Yeah, you lose 30-0
No, this is like when they send your 12U team to Cooperstown and then they just get destroyed in Cooperstown. That's what this is like. Like just they're going there and they're awful. Like they're like, we're actually doing training. They don't even train and practice correctly because they're just they just go out there and play randomly on
a club team.
Yeah, there's just a semi-pro team and they're like, yeah, we're doing a lot of drills for before the game that we don't really do that much. Like, that's how untrained
Can't even
these
practice
guys
properly. That's not good.
Man, that's tough.
It's fun. They'll get a lot of money for it, and then maybe they could be they're a professional team there.
Yeah.
But isn't it also kind of weird that Australia is technically an Asian for soccer, I guess? That's how they classify
Time
it.
zone, probably.
It's right next to New Zealand, and that's where this team's from.
There you go.
I bet you're bad at geography. Like, he's just, you never know.
This is Kobe's level of geography. He just doesn't know.
I know where countries are, kind of. Okay, kind of.
It's somewhere underneath all the big stuff, right? It's right around there. It's in the ocean.
I could do the states. That's all that matters. Okay.
Could you?
Yes.
Yeah, but Kobe, what if you have to travel outside the state?
Give me a map right now.
What
Give me
if
a
I
map.
get you a blank map?
I can still do it. I can still do it.
Name 10 maps right now.
If I gave you, okay. If I gave you, Kobe, if I gave you an empty map of Oklahoma and Indiana right now, and I said point to Indianapolis and Oklahoma City, could you do it?
I couldn't do the city directly, but I could do the state for sure.
That's fair, though.
I could do the state.
That's fair.
Is it?
Could you tell me where Helen, Montana is?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
I probably could. I've seen the movie enough times of when the volcano exploded and killed everybody.
Unless you're doing like the Upper East Coast by like where Maine is, because like that's irrelevant. But like everywhere else, I could probably do. There's like 15 states.
To our
like,
fans in Maine, we apologize.
Except for Boston, that whole area is just irrelevant.
That's coming from a guy, a New York fan.
Okay, but like,
In fairness, the Boston accent is pretty bad.
No one has ever been like, you know what? Let's go to New Hampshire. Like, it doesn't happen. Now, just be honest.
Hey, you never been to Manch Vegas, man?
No.
What?
Oh.
It's Manchester, New Hampshire, man. It's Manch Vegas. Yeah.
Rhode Island. There's 7 people in the entire state of Rhode Island.
Dude, I want to go to
No one's over
Bulldog.
there.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like, let's go vacation in Delaware.
I'd rather go to Nantucket than Rhode Island.
Frankie wants to go to the Clam.
Family Guy.
Family
it's
Guy.
the
Come
bar.
on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, boys, we'll get out of here so you guys
There
can
we
do
go.
Blow the Whistle. So, Kobe, Nick, thank you for joining. You two, thank you guys
Thank
for
you so
joining in
much.
for the last segment.
Cross talk.
Come back for Blow the Whistle here in
There
a
you
second.
go.
Come back next week for Low Blow Sports. We will see you guys next week here on Sportstown Chicago.